it's Miss Simpson, and I know everybody is at home today, so I am doing your video for your free writing. So before we do free writing, I want to remind you of some things you're gonna need today when you write. So let's review what food chains are. I know some of you watched my video for science this week, and I am very happy about that. I love it when y'all watch my video. But I want to go back over food chains with you and the different parts of those food chains. So first of all, in every food chain, and let me move my picture real quick. In every food chain, we start off with a sun. The sun is where we get all of our energy from. So in our food chain, we start off with the sun. So then, do you remember what comes after the sun? So then, after our sun, and I've told you this a million times, I am not a very good artist, so I'm going to be doing my very best. So after the sun, we have producers. And again, for my producer, I'm going to do a cute little flower. And producers are plants. And do we remember why, from our carbon dioxide oxygen cycle, why our plants are the producers? What do they produce? What process do they go through? They go through a process called photosynthesis, where they take in the carbon dioxide and among other things, but they take in carbon dioxide and they push out oxygen into the atmosphere. They create oxygen, and that oxygen is used by us. Remember that? So we have the sun, and our producers take in the energy from the sun. They take in also water, minerals. They take in carbon dioxide, several things, and they create oxygen, which they put into the atmosphere. They also create glucose, which is sugar, in case you were curious. So after producers, what comes after a producer? What could eat a flower? Well, in my video last time, I drew a little bunny that a lot of kids here at school thought was a very funny bunny, but I don't know how to draw a bunny any other way. So I'm going to draw a bunny. And yes, my bunny is extremely small compared to this giant flower because it can be. So here's my bunny. And this bunny is going to eat the flower, right? Because that's what bunnies do. They eat flowers. So the bunny is going to eat the flower. What is the bunny called? Do you remember? A bunny is a primary consumer. What else is the bunny called? Do you remember? I would say this bunny is an herbivore. An herbivore means they eat only plants. They don't eat animals. They only eat plants. So we have our herbivore, and this bunny is our primary consumer. Well, then that bunny is going to get scooped up by, what do you think? What did I do in my last video? I did a hawk, and I'm going to make my hawk a little bit bigger this time because it was not that mean last time. But our bunny is going to get scooped up by a mean hawk. Okay. Hawks don't have ears, right? Okay, so our bunny is going to get scooped up by this mean hawk. Okay, hawks eat mainly animals. So if a hawk eats mainly animals, what is that called? That is called a carnivore. So a hawk is a carnivore, but in our food chain, what is it called? Well, I hope you said a secondary consumer. Yes, you're so right. It is called a secondary consumer. And then, sadly, when that hawk passes away, because that's the circle of life, it is going to go into the dirt and the ground. And I'm going to do something different this time. It is going to go into the dirt and the ground. This is my dirt. And it is going to get decomposed by this cute little worm. It is going to get decomposed by this worm. And a worm is called a decomposer. Because it breaks down dead materials, whether those materials are animals or whether those materials are plants. It breaks down those dead materials. So let's go back over this food chain. Now that I have it all drawn out and we've gone over it, let's go right back over it real quick. So you should have also drawn one and turned it in the other day. So I have my food chain. It always starts with sun because that's where we get all of our energy from. And then we have the plant, and that is our producer. All plants are producers. Trees, grass, flowers, all of it, producers. So they go through a process called photosynthesis, remember, where they create oxygen for us to breathe. Anyway, that producer gets eaten by this bunny. That bunny is our primary consumer because it is the first thing that eats the producer. It is also an herbivore because it only eats plants. Now, if it ate both plants and animals, we would say that bunny is an omnivore. Again, this should be a review for you. Then that bunny's going to get eaten by a hawk. Sadly. The bunny's getting eaten by a hawk. And that hawk is considered a secondary consumer because it was the second animal to eat that flower because the bunny got the energy from the flower. The hawk got the energy from both the bunny and the flower. So then that hawk is a carnivore because it ate a bunny. It ate a bunny. It is a carnivore. It ate meat. And then it goes off, and when that hawk passes away, sadly, it's a circle of life. It is going to get decomposed by that cute little worm down there. All right, so now that you remember the food chains and all the different parts of food chains, let's talk about what in the world you're going to write about today. So you are going to explain to me what a food chain is and what every food chain has. So what is a food chain? What does every food chain have? You could even give me an example of a food chain. You could even draw it. But guess what? If you draw me a food chain, maybe up here at the top, you have to explain it in 5 to 6 sentences in a paragraph. So just like our body paragraphs and our essays that we write, you have to explain to me what a food chain is and what every food chain has in a paragraph of 5 to 6 sentences. So 5 or 6 sentences. Tell me what a food chain is. You can even draw one for me if you would like to, if that would help you write. That is perfectly fine. All right, guys, remember, at the very top of your paper, everybody should have a piece of paper out right now. If you don't, pause the video, go run and get one. At the very top of your paper, I want you to write your name. This is so important. So important. Write your name, and I want you to write the date. Today is March 5th, 2021. So you should have written your name and your date. You do not have to write the prompt on your paper. No big deal. Don't write that. You don't have to write number 6. I did that for my own idea. But you can start off by drawing a food chain and then explain to me in 5 to 6 sentences what that food chain is and what a food chain has. All right, guys, when you're done, take a picture and upload it to Canvas. Remember, teachers are not on campus today. We are on campus, but we are not teaching today because we are getting taught. We're in something called professional development. So we are unable to help you. So just do the very best you can. And if you have any questions, you can ask your teacher on Monday. No big deal, and they would be happy to help you. Just do your very best. All right, guys, I love y'all so much, and I hope that you have a fantastic day at home today. Bye.